everybody, and welcome to the Dielectric Media Review. I am Doug Schlabotnik,
And I'm Baldwin.
and today we are reviewing
Mad
Mad
Max
Max.
Fury Road. The third of the series, the first one being titled Mad Max, the second one being titled Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome, and
Tina
the third,
Turner edition.
Tina Turner edition. Right away, first thing for everybody listening, if you're gonna go see this movie, I would recommend it, but you have to watch the first and second one. My biggest issue is that, and I've been saying this since we left the theater, is that anybody sitting in that audience who has not seen any of those movies has absolutely no idea what the fuck was happening.
It's been a minimum 10 years since I've seen either of those two, and they were talking about stuff, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
Like, they assume that you know.
Well, and that's what they didn't do as a warning. They didn't put that on there.
Yeah,
'Cause-
I had no idea. I thought it was going to be a standalone, maybe a reboot, something like that. No.
Well, the production value of it was poor. There wasn't much. I saw
Well-
like 4 or 5 commercials for it.
Yeah, for the
And-
commercial. The production value of the overall movie was good.
Oh yeah,
The
But-
cinematography was pretty good. A little cartoonish at points. Like the fucking bad guy is like your atypical. He just had no character besides I am bad.
but once again, he's in the other films. That's going to be the theme of this reoccurring review. It's just like, if you have any questions at all, you have to refer to the old movies, and all your answers.
My
lie
question
there
is, why did we watch this?
because I like the Mad Max series. Beyond the Thunderdome, but it was the 80s. 80s, if a movie was successful, it got a sequel. If the movie wasn't successful, somebody who liked it made it. Or at least begged somebody to make a sequel of it. I mean,
Or it gets rebooted 20 years later.
and well, that's not technically true, because with Terminator, they've been talking about a reboot
Fuck
since...
Terminator. We're not talking about.
Well, I know, but I'm saying in the aspects of a reboot. I didn't
So
think
what
this was going to be a reboot.
What were your 3 biggest problems with this film?
First part was there was a definitive scene that screamed, "Oh, this was supposed to just be in 3D." And during that
yeah.
whole explosion,
Like when
yeah.
the steering wheel comes flying out at
Yeah.
you. Yeah, anything that it looks so cheesy in 2D, and they really need to find a way to make that not look fucking retarded.
Yeah,
Like
well,
either just cut it out or something. I don't know what they just didn't need it. It
Yeah.
didn't need to be there,
and
and
that's
it
where the
looks
cartoony
stupid.
aspect comes from. I guess my second biggest problem is, the emotional grip wasn't as high. When Charlize Theron's character, the Furiosa, she tries to convey like this emotion that her entire home is gone. She doesn't show much emotion throughout the entire film. She just she white walls it up to that point where it's just like, I gotta get these women across the desert.
And then there's the atypical on your knees screaming to the gods in the heavens. No,
Yeah,
that
God knows
says,
you gotta
oh,
have
she
that."
must actually feel about it because they said so.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Number 3 was there was a lack of actual like story building, because I think in my head I ran about they talked for about 30 minutes
Yeah,
of this,
And then
hour
the- and then the
hour
rest
40-ish film.
is all car chasing.
The car chases were obviously fantastic.
They
But-
were, but it's not substantial enough for an entire movie.
No.
Okay,
Furious,
so for me,
Fast and the
starting
Furious
from the
built that.
bottom up, my third number 3 is the story. I mean, it was lacking and
yeah.
relied too heavily on the other two. Number 2 would be the lack of really character building at all. I really didn't fall in love with any of the characters,
No.
even the
And-
really hot ones.
But that's the thing is, once
And my
again,
number
they
one
expect
problem
that you had seen these other films.
Is if you're gonna have a bunch of chicks in linen, like white linen, throwing water on each other, and there's no nipples, like I don't know what the fuck kind of cloth that they're wearing, but it must be like fucking adamantium cloth, because that's just a fucking simple principle. Like that's
it's a
wet
tease.
t-shirt concepts here that you're fucking with.
Yeah, but
I'm
I
not
don't know.
saying
I'm
that
not
it would have
gonna-
been better with nipples, but I mean,
Oh, you
come
got your nipples from the women the size of me and plus size more.
yeah, the big fat milk mom
the
things.
the milk mothers. Yeah, everything has that kind of biblical aftertaste of it. Obviously, since it pulls a lot from the Nordic
But I mean, come on, you're
mythology.
wearing a thin white cloth and you're covered in water and not see through it all. I mean, it's just a little fucked up.
I think maybe that would apply to maybe it was the actress's choice because once again, nudity comes down to actor or actress. I mean, it's that final straw. Like,
yeah, but they could
I'll
have had
play
him
this
wearing
part.
anything else, like even like bras underneath,
Yeah,
so the cloth is see through, but you can't
but
see
the,
all the way through. It was
you
just
know.
stupid. Like it stuck in my mind as that's just dumb.
yeah,
Like how do you fucking even do that?
it's a cock tease.
Yeah.
But-
If you're gonna go for these are hot tit bitches, then go all the way.
Well, they weren't really supposed to. I mean, they were the most pure women. And
yeah,
they
the
delve a lot.
breeders.
Yeah, they delve a lot of this idea into the first. Like at the end of the first one, and most of the second one deals with that whole like purity.
Yeah.
It's the new start. That's what
But
everybody's
I'm just
trying
saying,
to work for.
it was stupid.
yeah,
It's stupid to have a wet T-shirt
but I wouldn't.
scene
I wouldn't
like that.
take the movie down a notch because of that.
No, but it stuck with me as something like,
Yeah.
oh, that was really dumb. And
And-
it took me like 20 minutes to get over the fact that they broke the laws of T-shirt physics.
Yeah, they also broke the law of a lot of physics.
Yeah, like you've got a car filled with gasoline and someone lights a fucking road flare in it.
Yeah, like I'm sitting there going,
The gasoline itself, the liquid isn't what's going to burst into flames. It's the fucking vapors that
Yeah.
are filling the car
As soon
up.
as that ignition happened,
Yeah.
that thing should have exploded like a 4th of July fireworks
Right,
stand.
right. The instant it had, like, it should have been a fight for that thing to not even get
Yeah.
ignited.
And I think when you lose basic principles,
But for me, the
of
moment that
science.
thing went off, they were dead. Movie over.
yeah, I was sitting there going, no. I did like kind of the character building with the one of the bloodletters. Fuck, I can't remember his name now. He had a name, but they briefly say it, which is kind of shit. But it's whatever. His kind of like, realizing that this whole build to redemption isn't as glorious.
Yeah,
as it
where he
is.
finds out that his god is false, basically.
Well, and his
okay, so top two moments. Your top two good aspects.
Oh, good aspects. Well, obviously the last third of the film. Once this movie stopped playing on, as soon as Charlize Theron has her little cry shit fest in the desert, the movie finally becomes its own.
right.
And in that
See,
last
the
30
movie
minutes,
should
it
have
became
been
itself.
an hour to an hour and a half of them trying to escape or plan or something, like character building moments. You can't character build in car chases.
No.
You just can't. There's too much going on. And even if you're trying, you're going to miss stuff because all the explosions happening. And
Well, and I mean,
Okay, so
definitively with that, you can't expect the audience to pay much attention because shit's blowing
Yeah.
up around them. This isn't Transformers.
and you're number one.
And my number one is the fact that, with the strong cast that they had, they brought back people from the original film. The old
The
women,
mothers?
yep, the old women were from the original. The Bullet Father and the Gas God, those are the original actors and actresses. So I understand why this film.
So basically,
was,
this film was like a climax of the other two.
Yeah, I
and
I think
doesn't really work that well as a standalone.
if they plan on making another one, which I really doubt because of their budget, especially if this one does not do well, which I imagine it won't, because it'll get the shaft, and then 20 years later somebody will be like, oh, this was a great film, let's make the next one.
All right, so my number two is probably as an action movie, it was okay.
Yeah,
It was all right as an action movie.
when it really delved into like the
Yeah.
you know.
My number one is watching old ladies kick ass.
Yeah.
that was just cool.
That was the fun fucking part. But once again, that's when the movie started to have its own identity.
Right.
A lot of these movies that are coming out, they don't have.
They actually gave character to a couple of characters.
Yeah.
Mad
It-
Max
it's not
it
cookie
didn't
cutter.
really have character ever.
No.
He was just some guy. Like he could have been fucking anybody.
Yeah,
Well-
but once again, it's.
That's all we have time for.
Yeah. Just remember, folks, if you're going to see this, and I recommend you go see this, you got to watch the first and the second one.
Thanks.
That's my big spoiler.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Subscribe and like it.